Everybody get up, just stop and dance now. Oh shit, my mom. What the hell is it? So now. Alrighty, guys. So I'm gonna start off with the S&P 500. This is what I was expecting the market to react. So I'm gonna break down. So let's pay attention. We had a weekly close right here. So that's a very important area to pay attention to. You always want to go from the monthly on down, especially when you have um, candles that have been there in the past and we're retouching those new prices again. Because we will see, not that I'm saying that doesn't happen right now, but for example, you'll see that maybe a weekly, let's say somewhere in October, December earlier, you had weekly that are closed here and here and here all along. So you gotta worry about those where they are, because they're gonna be acting like resistance to whatnot. Um, but when it reaches a new high in the market, it gives you a better mark of where the resistance are at. So right here, when it comes up again, I don't gotta worry about other weeklies being along here, like whether it be this week closing here or this week closing here, and as it goes up, it try to break through this one, and then gonna reject to that one, and then stack between these two, and then break on up. So when the market does go up, if it ever does go up, that's why there's gonna be a good key area, um, whether it be if a breakout, especially if we're coming towards earnings or something like that. That's gonna be your key indicator. Zooming out into the big picture, you're gonna be like, okay, we have a weekly right here. Even though the small time frames, you are gonna see that the market did go up to this price, and there's gonna be daily resistance over here or forward resistance. That doesn't really matter. What really fucking matters is the weeklies or the monthlies. So that's why you also want to check the higher candles as the market, whether it be drops or goes up, just to be aware where it's gonna stop, will it be going up or down because of that hard resistance or support. Especially like I said, when you're looking at the monthly, weekly, and daily and whatnot. So we had a week that closed right here, and what is that? 6,937.6, and then the other one is way down over there. So that's after the Fed. That's after the Fed should worry about. So this is just something to be aware of. All right, cool. This is my weekly low, and this is my weekly high. After that, let's go to the daily. And a thing that I was noticing about, because this pattern right here normally happens, is that especially with the Fed, it doesn't make for the market. It doesn't make sense for the market to be excited and happy, and then just the way it was lining up. You had Thursday and Friday of last week that the market just stayed there. Could have had some sort of pullback. Could have had no, but the market stayed there. and they even went up just a little bit more. Silver kept on pushing, of course, and gold, but the S&P, stayed kind of the same area. So did the Nasdaq, and I was like, and then the fact that on Monday, a day before the Fed, they pulled back. I was like, all right, we're, and then especially how the whole night the S&P just stayed stuck, in the Nasdaq stay stuck in this range when normally their the Europe time, their 11:40, what is it? It close, so your 12:45 to 1:30 should have been a breakout zone. Also, your 8:45 to 9:30 should have been your breakout zone too. And the fact that they didn't break out, they just stay stuck in pretty much consolidating. Let me show you right here. We're clicking before a candle. This right here. All you saw was just this. I was like, yeah, it's most likely gonna start going down, keeping this low pressure. We're not gonna have this excitement of, yeah, the Fed's gonna talk, you guys. Interest rate. No, like the data didn't come as good last week, so it's very cautious. It's very, you could tell the market is not as excited. It's very fucking cautious. What I am surprised that it has recovered, but I think that pull back as we get close to the Fed is silver. I think it's gonna do a double top or be in these prices right here. And as the Fed says, the bad news that we don't want to hear, rate cuts, especially no rate cuts type of thing, is gonna pull back and be back in the zone right here. I think it's just anticipating the Fed just saying good shit and all the all the good news momentum that the news has spread around. Just not just the news, but the news influencers, YouTubers, you can see it. They're all talking about silver now. They're breaking down with the whole China issue. China's being less. Hey, you're gonna have more straight on what you need to have in order to transport. So you're seeing all these things. Even family members get. Hey, you know why silver went up? Well, and gold. Well, I heard they were good for electricity. They're good electricity conductors and whatnot and shit. And I heard because of USA has so many of it that this and that, and I'm just fucking hearing them. And I was like, it's way more than that. It's way more than that. It's worldwide. It doesn't always have to do with America, whatnot. Just that worldwide, all the big smart ones see where there's going. They see where the dollar is going. They see the play that America is doing. So obviously, they're fucking stacking up on shit that really matters, not this fucking little piece of paper that the United States created. Who's like, you can see the desperateness that we have. You can see the desperateness our government has by wanting to start a fight with Venezuela because of the drugs. The drugs. They're killing our children. You care for your children. You don't give a fuck about us. You think these fucks really give a fuck about us? We've been think about it. This is the thing I think about. Since the 70s and 80s, that we had the crack epidemic, why did they say, instead of having this war against drugs, which they brought this shit in here, why didn't they say, yo, we gotta stop this? It's killing our black communities and low com house what or whatnot. Like it's killing them. We're sending them to jail. It's you know, let's go bomb Mexico. Then we had the opioid crisis in the early 2000s. Why didn't they say, hey, let's go execute the CEO of these pharmacies or whatnot? But all of a sudden, hey, these boats are bringing fentanyl. Let's go bomb them and show them on TV. So, anyways, so anyways, also, I'm not surprised if it'll go up actually because I have been seeing how he's been talking about Venezuela, or I think he just striked another one or took another. But that's what I'm saying. I do believe silver and gold are gonna keep on going up because the Venezuela thing. I'm just trying to figure out when he's gonna use that tactic because that's gonna that's yeah that's either that's gonna bring the markets down a little bit, but it's gonna shoot up gold, or just like any other war, the market isn't gonna really matter. The market just give the fuck about data and what happens here. It doesn't really matter if we go to war. The only thing that gets affected is fucking the silver and gold. That's about it. Um, so I wouldn't be surprised if we don't get, and also the uncertainty if the Fed also starts saying how no interest rates and doesn't really give investors that confidence on keep buying stocks or something that's gonna put the stock market, they're gonna go more to silver and gold. And then also with the fear of the whole Venezuela thing happening, and then you have the whole Putin mentioning how, hey, Ukraine attacked us when you guys were doing that peace deal or something. So all this fear and whatnot, it's also gonna keep pushing out gold and silver. I wouldn't be surprised also if silver did ended up in a new all-time high or whatnot. Maybe in the 90s, maybe just 88. Or this could be it for now. If we might start to see a consolidate. Hopefully, consolidate. I want a pullback. I want gold and silver to do a pullback because it will happen. It's not just gonna keep on shitting on up, but it will give you a signal. And this is a start. This is definitely something to pay attention to. Assets is gonna be the thing to do in the future. In the past, asset buying wasn't really a thing pressed out there to the regular folks. But as we get to where we are right now, and you got even Trump just today announced, like we're getting rid of the old system, and we're going on to the new crypto, all this shit. So all that shit too is putting fear into the dollar, fear into holding the dollar. All right, so let's go to gold. See, let me check gold real quick. See, what I want also is so next week we're gonna have a lot of fucking data. And if you look at gold, we're forming a beautiful three candle box. If we get good news from the Fed, I don't see gold breaking this weekly all-time high. What I do see gold closing, but we're barely on Wednesday. So maybe by this week, if we have good news, maybe we could barely get to the weekly all-time high below this right here, or to the edge of it. And the if we do go up, that'll be the best outlook for gold. Which I wouldn't really want that. I want this week to close red above this weekly right here, or at this weekly right here. That way, this second weekly candle will create your support and won't be bothered by any other support area or any other resistance zone right here. So it'll create support right here. Resistance will give you the first one. You box that up. Next week, you have a lot of important data, and this weekly box is gonna be your guide to catch a good buying or breaking zone. So that's why I'm gonna keep an eye how we close this week with gold. And if we do drop, that's still that's technically not 3 candle box, so that will cancel it out. But even though still, I will still pay attention to if we break down below somewhere in here, because we're still gonna form once. The only area they gotta pay attention to areas are these weeklies as the market plays out in the second week. Once we start breaking through them and we're mid fucking Wednesday, Thursday, then you cancel those out and they create back into on support. So then from there, that 3 candle box will be more easier to break down, especially when you know what data's coming out and all this bullshit. And especially of what the Fed said is saying today, investors are gonna have a better view of what data to pay attention to next week. Yeah, that's also important, because now that the Fed's gonna talk, investors gonna be able to see like, all right, cool. Now I'm gonna pay attention to ADP is gonna be your hot one, or this and that. And then based on how they come up, maybe that also gonna push interest rate to the topic of next time, and that's gonna push the market back up again. That's gonna be like your savior right there. So that's something that people can be seeing. And but also, um, we're coming into earnings too, and we're starting with the banks. It's gonna be an interesting fucking year, yo. It's gonna be an interesting fucking year. Let me see any. And also right here too. If we get good news, hopefully this day closes somewhere below here. That'll form my 3 candle box. Your support, your resistance, whatever the fuck is gonna stop. Your third one is gonna be tomorrow's gonna be closed. So no, it's not gonna really play out on our in my favor. And if we do have bad news today, there's gonna be a cushion. There's where we're gonna stop. You can clearly see the resistance zone right here too. Also because that's your monthly and your weekly. So that's a hard cushion if it goes down. And even my indicator was pointing me out to that. Hey, it's a strong cushion right here. So if we do go down, there's gonna be our stopping zone. And then depending how we open on Thursday, it's Wednesday. Yeah, Thursday, especially with bad news, we could then have some sort of breakdown, or but just be fucking around this area right here, depending how bad the news was. And by bad, I mean bad for gold, because if we had bad news like for the market, well, that's why they go to silver and gold when the market is unease, when the market is scared. So that fear again, and talk about fear. As long as there's more fear in the market, gold and silver are gonna keep pushing on up. So all this uncertainty of not having interest rates, are we gonna have interest rates? War, all the shit is just gonna keep on pushing gold up in silver. Doesn't matter. Does this fall? People think. Another thing I think that's forming right here. I think there's a. If we do fall, I think we're forming a weekly. Stupid. Head and shoulders. This is your foundation down here, or this area right here. This is your shoulder, your head. If we got bad news, we're gonna end up breaking to this, consolidating ish or whatnot, and then go for the shoulder. We're gonna sidetrack, maybe push, but we're not getting rejected. And if we close, especially a couple of days below this area right here, that's gonna be the other shoulder. We're gonna have some sort of sharp move on down. And then again, if we're gonna end up completing it, the shoulder and whatnot, and continue going on down, or we're gonna create some sort of support and start going on up, or we're not gonna do that, and we're just gonna fucking. That's what I see. Like I can see a head and shoulders forming here, and that's another thing too. That there was a 3 candle box for silver. I was like, yo, there's a 3 candle box forming the fucking same day the Fed's talking. What a fucking beauty. And that's why I like them, because they form on days of the mark, on big days. Whether the S&P 500, the Nasdaq, especially gold and silver, they line up these 3 candle boxes, or magically they form perfectly. Whether it be there'll be a week, it'll be a day, or a high candle or whatnot. And I was like, yo, look, we closed this day right here. Tomorrow we got the Fed. It closes after the. I was like, yo, it's gonna be your sweet breaking point right here. So even though like a lot of people think it too late for this trade, whatever right here or not, but it's after the once the Fed talks, that we may have these pullbacks and this is that, and then you end up catching it again, going for the actual move. Or what they'll do is the Fed will just end up closing this daily inside, still completing it. I mean, still active, and then the your fourth day. I mean, well, your it'll be Thursday. So your fourth candle, it has to complete, because that's that 80% of these fucking candles end up completing, especially if they close still active like this, whether it be half or more than half. The fourth candle will end up completing it, but after completing it, some other shit will happen and you'll bring it back inside. But these will be key indicators either way. Once the market comes back down, this will be a hard fucking support. And likewise right here. So once the market does come back down here, if it ever does make new all-time highs, this will be a key fucking stopping zone. Just like right here, sort of. And you see let me see a 3 candle. Let me see a 3 candle. So like these. So these right here, these are gonna be stops. When the market goes down, there's gonna be a stop. This area right here, pretty much. This is, look at this area as one, pretty much. This area is gonna be one. And notice how these line up to those areas too. So, but the fact that this one's thick as fuck, no diddy. Uh, if it ever does go up, there's gonna be a good fucking stopping zone, and this is where investors. This is where they're gonna consolidate, do all this shit, because it's gonna be hard as hell to fuck. And then this is where investors are gonna be. Are we gonna break gold? Are we gonna go down? Is it gonna break that thick resistance of so? Da, da, da. If it ever does go down, that's what that's gonna fucking do right there. So that's why I like these fucking plays right here. So if you were I don't know why the fuck I didn't think of this shit. If you were doing futures and I saw this shit, it was an easy fucking buy at your fucking low and shit. Buying this area down here. Because of the market open and the wariness and all whatnot, it was gonna fucking pick up. So let me see what it was at right here. So I forgot to put it, but what I normally do is on the top and the bottom of the 3 candle box, I'll mark it down. So that's what daily. Daily is orange. So turn to orange. I'll go to here, white. This is daily 3 candle support. Okay. 3 candle support. Now go to the top. Oh, those already won a 4 candle. Oh yeah, right here. So that's gonna change. That's gonna be taken out. Daily 3 candle resistance. And then what I would do is I would then now go to the 12-hour candle just to see where there's resistance. And Mark them up. Oh, there you are. There you are. And then put my indicator. Sheesh. 4 candle 50 Fibonacci. This 4 candle ends at 11 right before the Fed talks. So that's where you're seeing that excitement. And you see right here how my 4 candle was telling me, hey, once we drop, this is your bullish cushion. So as long as we maintain this bullish cushion and we opened, we're still in a rally phase. 3-hour candle one, 2-hour candle one, entry points, entry points. Here probably was the 4 candle 50 Fibonacci in this area right here. So as long as the market went down, respected that 4 candle 50 Fibonacci and the market opened. Also, the 3 candle box still active because it's still active. It's the third candle is active. We got the Fed talking. I'll show it over here actually. We get the 1-hour candle right here. So actually coming down to the 1-hour candle, actually we're expecting that was the first confirmation right here too. This was the buying zone, entry zone. I'm sure if I would have gone to my 15-minute candle, would have told me better entry. Yeah, right here. $73. $73 right here would have been your fucking entry that you've been doing. Not just that, but also the time too. The 12-hour candle closes at 3. 12-hour candle closes at 3. Market opens at 7:30. So from 4:45 to 5:30 would have been your rising up area. So let me see. Monday. Market open, closed, started going on up. 3 o'clock, we close up 4 12-hour candle right here. Yeah, it was telling you, hey, and then by that time, my indicator was telling you to create support here. 150 Fibonacci. That's the way. I like it. The market opens. Yeah. So that's why I like catching these 3 candle boxes because if I don't go based on like it's a how can I explain this? It's like a guide. It's like a guide. It's like a especially with the Fibonacci with the 50 Fibonacci where they're at, with the what time the data is coming out, um, and just putting it all together. It's like it confirms to me like, all right, so I gotta look at silver and not really look at gold to see if it's gonna break out or this and that, because I can just look at silver and I can see where if we're gonna break out or if gold's gonna start breaking out based on the lead that silver's having. Or if gold would have had this, I would have been going off of gold and or been also been would have been looking where silver was at to seeing, oh yeah, silver is just you know showing signs of breakout. So gold is gonna start picking up right now and whatnot. Because gold sometimes it's heavy. It's like Bitcoin and Ethereum. Gold is so heavy that sometimes silver has the one that has to show the leads or maintain like the let you know where the sentiment is at, where they're heading to, or where the market where silver wants to where metals wants to go, or where metal's going. They'll send signals to each other. So let me take a look at gold right now. You see how gold is dragging? Once we get to 12 o'clock and silver gets to that top of that resistance of the daily, then you're gonna see gold start fucking breaking through this. You like a hard wicking up above 4,400. And then after he talks and the FOMC shit and all that shit and whatnot, and the market and silver does close by the resistance of that, then through the night as the Europe and China market opens, you're gonna see them not rally, but you're gonna see them more momentum pushing. But we still got this week left, so I don't think this him talking is gonna do these crazy move with the market. I think that's what people are scared or expecting. They don't know how much drag the market's gonna have or push depending on what he says. So that's another thing too, why the market doesn't really have these crazy drops or these crazy push on ups as we're getting closer to him. Yeah, that's what I mean by that. You see how they're just cautious. They're just cautious. They don't want to drop. They're not scared of the market. They're not scared of what he's gonna say, or they're not looking forward to what he's gonna say because they don't really. I mean, like they don't really know what he's gonna say, so the market's not really having that excitement. That's where you get see it getting pressed in the same area. Same with the Nasdaq. Same with Bitcoin. Same with Ethereum. Same with all of them. That drop wasn't a fake out, but it was Bitcoin giving you the same warning that the market's giving you. That's its way of telling you, hey, we're cautious. Now, if it would have been a actual what we're dropping, we would have been dropping last night at before like 5 in the morning or around there that time or 1 in the morning. But all they're showing is, hey, we're just waiting for the Fed, you guys. We don't know what's gonna happen. And then after that, we're gonna have a really fear. So I don't know how the market is gonna react with Venezuela or crypto gonna react with Venezuela because with crypto at this point, fucking is them manipulating this shit. If you follow crypto or Bitcoin these last 5 years, how it will move, you see it will start moving with tweets. Or announcement of big purchases, but those big purchases will be by celebrities or what's his fucking face? Tesla guy. Whatever, him. And you will see all these great Doge. He mentioned Doge and market went like crazy and whatnot. So that were the first signs of what's gonna be how the market. It was all text. All these, they're watching how we the regular people react to all this shit and how we react to the market moving or not on certain on a tweet or whatnot. Are we gonna go against it? Are we gonna follow through with it? Are we just because crypto doesn't have nothing unlike the market has, hey, here's your week, here's your data for the week. It's gotta come out this time. It's very important. With crypto is like 200 billion Bitcoin bought by the bank, 200 so and so by Ethereum bought all this good news every single day, and the market just doesn't do shit. And then the S&P is flying, getting good news. Bitcoin's falling down, and they know that you guys don't know how the shit works, so they'll say, hey, well, we are the ones that gotta explain to them why the market went down. We're financial websites, right? Like we're Coinbase. So let's tell them, hey, tweets start saying that it's because Coinbase and so dump and show them some records. They don't know. They don't know. 89% of fucking people on this fucking crypto whatnot, that just started these 4 years, don't know how to read graph, don't know nothing about the cycle, about the market, don't know nothing about S&P, where the S&P is at. They just know their friend bought it. They follow this influencer, this YouTuber, and they got told that so and so did a contract with so and so, and because of that, Bitcoin's gonna go up, or the market's gonna go up. So that's why with Bitcoin at this point it's just manipulated. I feel like they're just dragging it because the closer you're coming to bills and all the shit passing through, well, the more fear you want to put at the retailers. Like if I'm a retailer and I'm actually seeing this shit and keeping up with it, and I'm seeing like, holy shit, yo, like the government, Trump just signed this paper, he just signed a paper, the SEC is doing this paper with that. They're doing these things called RWA or something, or they keep mentioning, BlackRock CEO start talking about tokenizing. So as they're seeing this shit, they're buying this shit. But the ones that aren't, the ones that don't know anything or don't like the whole, you know, most people like the whole. Tell me what to buy. Tell me, we want everything to, we don't want to do the work. We don't want to think. We just want you to tell me what to buy, what to do, and I'll do it. I don't want to listen to you talk. I don't want to listen to you. So people are just gonna go based on the numbers. And as they get closer and closer to passing these bills, it's like uh they shake they turn up the volume, and by that I mean the fear, and by the fear I mean the pull down, because they know that we number go down. Oh, number don't go down. Me sell now. All right, so that's what I believe crypto and Bitcoin are doing. They're also just waiting. Besides that, it's not got any guys. Let me see if I have any three candle boxes. You shouldn't, because it's all spikes or whatnot. It's all consolidating. You can clearly tell. See cushion area. It's just waiting for it. Four candle cushion. Just waiting for it. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Fed says something that we don't want to hear. The market just ends up turning on red, and then either Trump is gonna come and fucking talk and say something to fucking push the market up, because he's gonna look bad. He's not gonna be able to. I mean, technically, he did close at a new all-time high type of shit. Not a new all-time high, but like a strong high numbers type of shit. All you have to say is the market closed. Beautiful year, stock market. On a new all-time high, or stock market, blah 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 blah. And yeah, so I wouldn't be surprised if we'll get a pullback, because and it's gonna be the next week. But then you got interest. You got earnings. U.S. dollars Fed Texas Service Revenue Index. Earnings. That 4 candle Fibonacci is key right there. 15-minute candle. You see, just consolidating. Entry point right here. And all this time right here, traders that aren't getting why we're getting this. It's easy as fuck. And I think these 4 candles, this 4 candles coming up and it's broken here. A bunch of traders are getting fucked right here. A bunch of option traders are getting fucked right here, or they're gonna get fucked. If they keep closing and entering, closing and entering. Oh, there it is. Here's a 3 candle box on gold. Word. Okay. But these 3 candle boxes normally end up fucking completing on down. It goes red, green, red. Red, green, red. Red, green, red. And you end up having. That's not a perfect one, but got one right here. One going down, going up. That's how they normally have breaking. You had another one. See, that's what I'm talking about. When you have the third one still active but didn't complete the full set, it's shut on up. It is up to the fourth one to go and try and complete it. But when it has these fucking just pullbacks, especially fucking without really having a push, and just stays with the first 2 hours, the market's gonna go down. The chance of the market going down is fucking like 80%, 80, 90% when these happen, especially when the full moon pulls back and stays there and whatnot. And here ran another nice three candle bounce going down. But the fact that it's a daily, that's why it's important. And not just that, on a 12 candle, but not just that, it's gonna end after the Fed talks, if I believe so. Yeah. So it you have three candle bonks on a 12-hour time frame for gold, seeming to me like it is gonna go down, and we're gonna close right here for the day. But then again, I don't know how gold's gonna react to it. But either way, this is what you need to pay attention to right here. So I would have gone right here. Sorry for all this mess, people here. So we're going right here. Sorry. It's a daily three candle resistance on a 12-hour candle. Resistance. I fucked up another one. Yeah, see, and that's what the cushion is at too. So either the Fed's gonna say something they wouldn't want to hear, and then gold's gonna break on down and close somewhere here in this region, or at the support here, and then as the market closes and the Europe and all that bullshit, it's gonna go down, be testing this area right here, either Thursday and Friday, or we're gonna get good shit, good news. We're gonna have that breakout, and we're gonna end up closing right here by under the 4 candle 50 Fibonacci. See, and that resistance that we have right here too. What time is it? The 4 candle, huh? 8-hour candle. It finishes at the end of the day. This 4 candle, yeah, right here, scared. So, and this it said that fucking area. Yeah, and at the 1-hour candle resistance right here. So we're gonna have bad news, and we're gonna end up fucking breaking under here the weekly resistance. Notice how I had the hard time breaking it. We're gonna have bad news, struggle in this region, end up going down and closing here somewhere here for the day, probably. And as the market future open, it's gonna go down and test the region here, and bouncing around and whatnot. If we have the bad news, if not, we're gonna be bullshitting inside this box right here. And as the market open, he talks, we're gonna end up fucking going up. Comics, gold delivery, intention breakout. So it's gonna bullshit here till the Fed talks. Yup. And then also the S&P has been on this 8-hour trend line right here. Stretch it out. Is it this one? Let's see. That's one right here. Yeah, it's right here. It goes right here really slow. Oh no, this one right there actually. And the fact that it was hanging there the whole day, I was like, yeah, I think we're gonna go up. I think we're gonna cancel that. I was gonna stay there near it, consolidating what it's doing right now, and then just wait for the Fed. And by that I mean just breaking here. It's not like it's gonna touch it then just go down. It's gonna get stuck here, consolidating this region, and then when it talks finally gonna break, and we should be by the end of the year somewhere down here probably, or in between here. 6,904 to 8,893. Sorry for all this shit, you guys. But if you notice, the market is more scared and cautious than happy and cautious, or just happy and. Let me see if I find any 3 candle boxes. Not on the S&P and Nasdaq. It's two. All right, and then Bitcoin still looking bearish. This is what I'm not liking right now too either. Is that when I see Bitcoin above 30, that's my bullish confirmation that crypto is gonna start going on up. Below 30, below 29.54, especially if it stays below 28.92, it's just telling me that crypto's gonna keep on going on down. I gotta see Bitcoin go above 28.92, sustain for this week to show that crypto's gonna go up. Otherwise, we could close here, sustain these prices, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, and if it was good news, you're gonna see actually start recuperating the fake drop that we did from yesterday. We're gonna start recuperating back to the area, and you should see then, and it keeps it there. We close strong, especially on Sunday. We open. Um, we should close the week by 28.80, 28.74, and that will give me some sort of bullish signs. But once we get to 29, that's when I'm going to start. You should see maybe Bitcoin back at 90 or some shit like that. And you should see Ethereum back at like 3,300 or around there. And you should then see Bitcoin back at $29. And that's going to confirm to me like, okay, we're back on track. We're not going to keep on going on down anymore. So it's cloudy outside. But yeah, the Fed's gonna talk in 1 more hour. I'm gonna get off on here. I'm gonna get back on and do a live bullshit, whatever you want to call it. Alright, guys. Let me see how to do this. This is too black. Internet not being cheap. What's that one? No. If I do this.